Hello everyone, this is Showtime 112. Some time ago, we explored the Romanian Air Force's role in Operation Barbarossa, focusing on the early days of the campaign. Now it's time to delve deeper into this fascinating story. If you missed our first video, be sure to check it out for a comprehensive introduction. To recap, before World War II began, Romania attempted to maintain neutrality. However, after being pressured by Bulgaria, Hungary, and the USSR into ceding significant territory, Romania joined the Axis powers and eventually participated in the German invasion of the USSR. The Romanian Air Force operated a diverse fleet of fighter aircraft, including German, British, Polish, and domestically produced models. British Hurricanes and outdated Polish aircraft were primarily assigned to home defense, while Bf-109s, Heinkel 112s, and the domestic ER-80 fighter supported forces advancing into the USSR. The combat air grouping, Gruparea Aeriană de Luptă, boasted a relatively strong lineup: 36 Bf-109Es, 28 Heinkel 112s, and 24 ER-80 fighters. The bomber component of the air grouping was even more diverse, featuring a mix of Polish, Italian, German, French, and British designs. Alongside their Luftwaffe allies, Romanian pilots faced a Soviet force with a numerical superiority of roughly 1.6 to 1, although the Axis held a significant technical advantage. On the first day of the invasion, Romanian pilots achieved several victories without suffering any losses. However, their luck began to change on June 23rd. Angel Codruț became the first Romanian fighter pilot to die when his Heinkel 112 was shot down by Soviet fighters over Bolgrad airfield in southern Bessarabia. According to some sources, Romanian pilots were intercepted during a low-level attack by 7 I-153s. The Soviet pilot who downed Codruț might have been Captain Pyotr Kozachenko, a 15-victory ace and a veteran of wars against Japan and Finland. However, author Denis Bernard disputes this, suggesting it might have been confused with another aerial battle. During the first 2 weeks of the campaign, Romanian fighter pilots conducted numerous ground attack and escort missions, particularly during a German and Romanian offensive across the river Prut. The lack of Soviet air activity allowed for this focus on air-to-ground operations. However, on 12 July 1941, Soviet aircraft appeared in large numbers as their ground forces launched a counter-offensive, leading to several intense air battles. On that day, 4 ER-80 fighters from the 8th Fighter Group provided cover for bombers attacking Soviet ground positions in the Tiganka area. They encountered 4 I-16s and engaged them. Flight leader Ion Micu and Gheorghe Cocebas each claimed a Soviet fighter. Another pilot, Vasile Claru, chased one of the I-16s and distanced himself from the formation. However, when 6 more I-16s appeared, a very uneven fight ensued. After exhausting his ammunition, Claru collided with an enemy fighter and crashed, reportedly witnessed by his wingman. It remains unclear whether the collision was accidental or a deliberate ramming by either pilot. Both sides exploited this incident for propaganda. Claru's death was hailed as an ultimate sacrifice for king and country, and he was credited with 3 aerial victories, although official records show only one confirmed victory. Meanwhile, the Soviets claimed that their pilot, Lieutenant Ilya Shamanov, performed a taran, a deliberate ramming of an enemy aircraft, which was glorified in the USSR, especially early in the war. The Soviet regiment claimed 6 victories in this battle, while Romanian records only confirmed the loss of Clarus aircraft. We've also covered the Soviet practice of ramming enemy aircraft in another video, which I recommend watching if you missed it. Another example of bravery was demonstrated by Ioan Lascu. His Heinkel 112 was damaged during a combat sortie, but he took off again in another aircraft and headed back to the front line. While strafing an artillery position, Lascu was mortally wounded by a ground fire, and his airplane crashed. Earlier in the war, Lascu had shot down a MiG-3 near Lake Balta Alba. The Soviet pilot Viktorov bailed out and was captured. The Heinkel 112 wasn't credited with many aerial victories, as it was primarily used for air-to-ground missions. However, due to its lack of armor and inadequate pilot training, the type suffered heavy losses in this role. The Romanian Air Force was equipped with a small number of Hawker Hurricane fighters. 12 were delivered by Britain and 3 more were supplied by the Germans after being captured in Yugoslavia. The British fighter was tasked with home defense and proved quite successful. Following the success of Horia Agaric, described in our previous video, other pilots claimed several kills. The biggest day for the Hurricane-equipped 53rd Squadron was 30 June 1941. In 3 separate air battles in the Ismail Tulcea area, they claimed 10 Soviet aircraft, mistakenly identified as Grumman fighters. These were likely I-153s, which reminded Romanian pilots of the Grumman F-3F, another retractable landing gear biplane. One of the pilots, Andrei Radulescu, became an ace that day, claiming 3 victories in addition to 2 on June 24. Another notable display of airmanship, albeit with poor recognition of enemy aircraft, was demonstrated by Eugen Camanceanu. He claimed 2 Martin bombers on July 8, which were probably DB-3s. A significant event was the first victory claimed by the top-scoring Romanian fighter pilot, Constantin Cantacuzino. He claimed 1 Soviet DB-3 bomber in the Ismail area. Hurricanes saw no combat after July 1941 due to a shortage of spare parts and the risk of confusion with Hurricanes flown by the Soviets. Only 1 Hurricane was lost to enemy action, destroyed by I-16 fighters on the ground in September 1941. Romanian Bf-109E aircraft were also active during this period. On June 25th, a flight led by Alexandru Popisteanu, commander of the 7th Fighter Group, strafed the Besarabica railway station. The Messerschmitts were attacked by several I-16s, resulting in a dogfight where Romanian pilots claimed 2 Soviet fighters. By the end of July, the Bf-109 equipped fighter group claimed at least 4 more Soviet aircraft. After July 26, all the territory lost to the USSR before the war was once again under Romanian control. The Romanian Air Force flew an impressive 5,100 sorties in a month-long battle, with the fighter component accounting for about 2,100 of them. Romanian pilots claimed 88 enemy aircraft shot down and another 108 destroyed on the ground. However, they lost 58 aircraft in combat, with at least 18 pilots killed in action. The fight against the Soviets didn't end there. After securing Bessarabia, the next objective was Odessa in Ukraine, the main harbor of the Black Sea, a campaign that might be explored in a future video. Thank you for watching.